You ready to do some yoga? All right, grab your chair and here we go. Find your comfortable seat in your chair. Just make sure that you have, as best you can, that 90-degree angle for your knees and your feet. And if you need to, you can even have blocks that you can put your feet up on. If you don't, however it will be, and it will just work out for today. Okay. And then just take a moment, close your eyes, deepen the breath. Let your body get really comfortable in your chair. Let your spine be nice and tall. And then let the body relax, keeping that length of the spine, back of the neck. Even draw the chin to your chest, just ever so slightly. So the back of the neck is nice and long. Even have a slight lift to the neck, as if someone is pulling on that string on the top of your head. Just creating a lightness in the neck. Facial muscles softening. All the skin around the eyes and the forehead. And bringing a little smile to your face, kind of lets those muscles around your mouth relax. Now let's do that 3-part breath, just to fill up our whole torso with breath. So as you inhale again, breathe into the very top part of your chest, and then let the breath continue to move down into the middle belly, and then finally the lower belly, full big breath. And as you exhale, let the air leave that just the lower belly first, on up into the mid belly, and then finally the upper chest and out the mouth. Inhale, upper chest, mid belly, low belly. Exhale, low belly, mid belly, upper chest. Inhale, upper chest, mid belly, low belly. Exhale, low belly, mid belly, upper chest. Now keep breathing in this pattern for the next few breaths. Noticing how your body resonates with this practice of the breath. And if your mind pulls you away from this breath, gently When you realize it, bring it back and keep that 3-part breath going. One more breath with this cycle. And then just breathe normally for a few breaths. Now let's reverse that flow of the breath. So as you inhale this time, we're going to breathe way down deep to the low belly first. Then expand up into the mid belly. And as you continue to breathe in, it finally reaches that upper chest. Then as you exhale, release the breath first through that upper chest, then mid belly, then low belly. So inhale, low belly, mid belly, upper chest. Exhale, upper chest, mid belly, low belly. Inhale, low belly, mid belly, upper chest. Exhale, upper chest, mid belly, low belly. Keep breathing in this pattern for the next several breaths. Notice how your body resonates with this pattern of breath. Just 2 more full breaths. And breathing normally once again. I'm noticing how the body feels after the breathing practice. Just 1 more breath. Go ahead and open your eyes and we'll scoot forward on our chair. Starting out with cat and cow for today. So inhaling into your cow, letting that pelvis dump forward and the shoulder blades resting down the back. And then exhaling and releasing into your cat. So dumping that pelvis backwards, flaring out those shoulder blades, chin draws to chest. And inhaling right back into your cow. And exhaling, cat. Just a couple more. Okay, interlacing the fingers in front of your body. And as you inhale, take those arms up overhead. Just going to that first point of tension through the shoulders and exhaling back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One more of those. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. Okay. Inhale, go ahead and take those arms back up overhead. And as you exhale, just let the right arm drop down. Elbows about 90 degrees. Opening up through the side body here. And just holding a few breaths. As you inhale, reach those arms back up overhead. And then exhale, dropping that elbow the other side. And holding. Inhale, take those arms overhead. Same thing, only we're gonna keep moving. Exhale, drop that elbow. Inhale. Other side, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep dropping that elbow on the exhales. Just a few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead, invert the palms. And exhale, release the arms down, rolling out through the shoulders a couple times. Nice and slow here. Just notice where all those knots are along those shoulder blades. Okay, one more big circle. Keep the shoulder blades pressing down the back. And now we're gonna squeeze up. Just work through these muscles here. Lift, hold, 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 and release. Drop those shoulder blades down. 2 more times. Lift up and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop them down. Couple more times. Take them up, hold. 2, really squeeze. 3, 4, 5, 6, and release. One more. Lift it up, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and release. Just give your neck a little bit of some movement side to side, nice and easy. Now dropping down to the pelvis. So we did that forward and backward motion with our cat and cow. Let's now take it in all directions. So those circles with the pelvis. So forward, to the side, back, to the side, and forward again. Okay, so keep going in one direction. About 4 times each side. And then change your direction. One side is always harder than the other. Nice. Okay. I would like to do eagle arms. So we can even try eagle legs. So let's start out. We're just gonna do that figure 4 stretch first before we attempt the eagle. So just as we always do, where we cross that one leg over and then hinging forward, loosening up through the hip joint, and the glutes. Sometimes noticing if you move your torso just a little bit in any direction, how that kind of changes that space that the muscle is being stretched. And maybe you find a new location that is more tight or feels like it could use a stretch. So hold there. And then come back into the original place for your stretch and notice if you can sink in a little bit deeper. Come on back up and we'll change sides. And feel free to move around a little bit, feeling out that space. changed to let you in a little bit more. And come on back up. And now let's cross the other leg over at the knee. Just to try and get a little stretch through this outer portion of the leg and the hip. And then whatever leg that you have sitting on top is going to be opposite of your arms, okay? And eagle arms. Now, if this is really uncomfortable for you, you can always just bring an arm across the body. And let your elbows be right at shoulder height. And if you want, you can give yourself a little massage by just lifting and lowering the elbow. Very small movement. You can even do circles. Really tuning into the sensation through the shoulder blades. And you can even bring that arm, so whatever one is on top is the one that's getting stretched more than the other, and you can pull that arm across the body, even in this eagle stance. Just a couple more breaths. And as you exhale, release those arms and let's pull them back. Open the chest. Give them a little squeeze. Drop the shoulders down. And then we'll change sides. So crossing the other leg on top. Right? And switching those arms. Making sure the elbows are at shoulder height. And little circles or the up and down movement. Okay. Or just holding, it's all good. You can even pull that arm a little more across the body if you want. Shoulders dropping down. And coming back to the original position. As you exhale again, release those arms, release the legs, open up the chest. Yeah, just hold for a moment, pull that belly in. Move your neck, your chin. And release. Okay, so let's lay down right over your thighs. Child's pose here. And just letting the breath move into the back of our body for a moment. Just to fill up all that space we created through the shoulder blades, through that eagle pose, eagle arms.
to move your head around a little. Just feel out if there's any tension through the neck muscles, along the back of the body. Just a couple more breaths. And then bring your hands to your thighs and go ahead and use your arms to push up.
And we'll move into a twist here. So turning sideways on your seat and reaching around to the back. Lifting up nice and tall and then letting those shoulder blades settle down the back. Deepening the breath once again. We're just holding and releasing the back. One more breath. And go ahead and release back to center, and we'll change to the other side. Try to have the gentlest of a hold on that chair so that your body's just holding itself in that twist rather than you pulling with your hands. Just another breath. And go ahead and release back to center. So we're gonna come on up to standing now. It's a very nice moment to relax our muscles. Now we're gonna work them a little bit. So putting your chair at the top edge of your mat. We're gonna start out with high lunge today. Okay, so stepping the right leg forward, grabbing a hold of your chair, and taking a decent step back. So you want to be up on the ball of that back foot for your lunge, okay? Bending the front knee about 90 degrees if you can, or a little bit less. Lift up through that torso so we get a nice stretch through the hip flexor. Okay, and if you can, let both hands come off of that chair right to the waist. And we're just holding a few breaths here. Place your hands right back on the chair and then drop that back heel down and really press through that heel, straightening out this back leg. And we'll now move into Warrior One. Okay, so the hips are facing forward, and if they're not, if they're more turned to the side, grab a hold of your chair, turn them forward, and if you need to, you can step that back foot out a little bit wider so that the hips are facing forward, okay? And if we need to give this front leg a break, just straighten it. Take a breath, and then we're gonna move right back into your Warrior One, okay? So on your next exhale, drop back in, bend that front leg, push through the heel of this back leg, hips are forward, and then bring those arms up overhead, and then release. Pull the elbows down, opening the chest. And keeping the breath nice and even. Right. As you inhale, take those arms overhead, straighten the front leg. And then as you exhale, we're going to come back in, warrior two. So letting those arms reach out and away from the body. Just a couple more breaths. And now, as you inhale, take those arms overhead, straighten that front leg. And we can come right back in to triangle, okay? So the right arm can come down right inside of this right leg, right by the knee. And then the other arm is gonna stay up in the air, but what I want you to get before we make our way into triangle is that this hip, so the left hip is gonna kind of dip forward so that we're kind of pulling my right hip back, the left hip draws down, so they're now leveled, still facing forward, right? And then we can open back up into triangle. So really from your warrior two, okay, we're just tilting forward and dropping the hip down. Okay, that's triangle. And then from here, place your right hand back on that chair, bend the front knee, raise your left arm, the bicep to ear, and we are right here for side angle. Okay. Just one more breath. And now let that top arm come down. Grab a hold of your chair, straighten that front leg. We'll turn both feet so that they're parallel. And then we're gonna let the hips drop out right behind for that wide-legged forward fold. And if you need to, okay, if you're at home, you can always turn your chair around and take your wide-legged forward fold this way. Especially if the hamstrings are really tight, you can't get down really close enough to the floor to let the arms touch the floor. You can rest your forearms and your head right on your seat, okay? So you decide how you want to do that today. Just a couple more breaths. Now, go ahead and bend your knees, sink those hips down, bring your hands to your thighs, and we'll lift right on up. And then we're gonna turn and do the other leg, okay? Or just step the other leg forward. So now the left leg will be forward, grabbing a hold of your seat. Take a fairly good step back with the right leg. And you want to be up on the ball of your foot because we're going to start in your high lunge, okay? So front leg is bent about 90 degrees. And then try to go ahead and move those hands right to the hips. Lifting that torso so it's not leaning forward. Lifting that torso up so we get a nice stretch through the hip flexor. And then bring your hands right to your chair and drop that heel down of the back foot and really push down through that heel, okay? So now when we did that, the hips kind of turned and opened to the side. Go ahead and straighten that front leg. So we want to turn the hips back to face forward. So if this position is not comfortable, step out wide, okay? And then come back in. Bend that front knee. Push down through that heel. Okay? Engage the belly, shoulders down. And as you inhale, take those arms up overhead. And then exhale, pull the elbows down, opening up through the chest. Just one more breath. As you inhale, take those arms up overhead, straighten that front leg. Then we're going to rotate the torso out to the side and come back into warrior two on this side. So we'll bend that front leg one more time. As you inhale, straighten that front leg. So we're reversing the warrior. Okay. And then we'll come in to triangle. So come back to your warrior two, but with straight legs. So all we're going to do is shift the left hip back and the right hip comes forward. So those hips are squared forward again, right? And we can drop that left arm down and right arm just reaches over. So we're basically just tilting for triangle. Let those hips drop forward. The right hip drops forward. Just another breath. Okay. And then from here, bend into that front leg. You can place a hand on the chair or on your thigh. Reach the right arm bicep to ear. And here's side angle. One more breath. And then release that top arm down, straighten that front leg. Now, you can turn your chair if you need to, come back into that wide-legged forward fold. So your forearms can be on your chair, or release all the way down to the mat, the hands to the mat. Just one more breath. And then bend those knees. Place your hands on your thighs and we'll come all the way back up. Nice. And then just heel toe your way back in. Okay, so let's take a moment just to come into our tree pose. Okay. Recentering the body, balancing the body from our work. So shift your weight onto one foot and then bring the other foot up to your mid-calf. Now, if balance is gonna be an issue, let the toes stay down on the mat. Deepen the breath. Your hands can be at your heart, at your waist, overhead. Whichever place feels good to you today. Just a couple more breaths. And then release that foot down. Do some ankle circles on the leg that you were standing on. And then change sides. Grounding down through that foot. This whole side of the body grounds down. Engage the belly, shoulders down, and then lift that other leg right to the mid-calf or down at the floor. Really bring your awareness to your foot and feeling that connection to the mat. Just a couple more breaths. And release. Nice. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, abduct your legs. So you're pushing your feet kind of away from each other on the mat, and forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, abduct those legs, rise all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Just close your eyes for a moment. Deepen the breath. Just sense your body, noticing how it feels. And how the breath may have changed throughout your practice. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and open the eyes. We're going to turn to face your chair one more time. So turning the chair so that the seat part is facing you. Okay. We're going to step forward with the right leg and take a smaller step back with the left. And we want to turn the foot out about 45 degrees. So we're going to come into pyramid here, which is just going to stretch through the back of the thigh and the glute. Okay. So be sure that let's start from a standing upright position, okay? Really pushing down through this back leg all the way through the heel. You're really pushing down through the front foot as well. The hips are facing forward. The belly is engaged. The shoulders are down. And we're gonna lean forward with our chest, okay? So the chest stays lifted the whole time. Even as our hands reach the chair, we're still looking out across the room, letting that chest stay lifted. And we're only going until we get a slight tension on the back of the leg here, the beginning of a stretch. And then just holding. Now as you're holding here and that stretch eases a little bit, you can keep the chest lifted but sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. Keeping the weight of your body even beneath both of your feet. Just one more breath. Okay, and now bend that front leg. And you're kind of going to shift forward a little bit. We're going to come into half moon on this side. So shifting forward, placing your forearm down onto the chair. So my right leg is forward, the right forearm is going to be on the chair. And then we're lifting up through that back leg. You can keep both hands down, right on the chair. Okay, lifting up, breathing. You want to straighten that front leg back out. So it's kind of a combined movement here. So we bend the leg first, we get our forearm down to the chair, and then as we're straightening and we're shifting our weight onto this front leg, we're lifting up that back leg into your half moon. Okay? Just another breath. And release that foot right back down. And we're going to stretch out the glute part of this right leg. So step your back leg forward, and we'll put the right leg over to the left corner of the chair. Okay? And then we're going to turn the torso to face the right leg and kind of push on it. So left hand comes around and pushes on that knee, which takes you a little bit further into your twist. And you can extend that right arm out away from you, just to deepen the twist. And it's when you're reaching around and you're grabbing a hold of that leg and you're giving it a little tug that we're going to stretch through that glute. And the twist will intensify that too. Okay, as you exhale, release, come right back to center, and then we'll change sides. So now the left leg will step forward for pyramid. The right foot steps back just a little bit. And make sure that you have an equal amount of weight pressing down into both feet. Okay? The hips are facing forward. The belly draws in. The shoulder blades are down the back. And the chest remains lifted as we begin to lean forward out over this left leg. And you're just going until you get a stretch along the back of the leg. Being mindful to keep pressing down into both feet. And as the back of the leg loosens up a little bit, you can keep making your way down into that stretch, but keep the chest lifted as you're making your way down. Belly is always drawing in. Hey, just one more breath. Now, bending that front leg, we're going to shift our way into half moon on this side. So, left forearm is going to come to the chair, and then lift up, straighten that leg, and then pull the back leg up behind. Just a couple breaths here. we'll twist on this side. So left leg is gonna come across to the right side of the chair. And then the right arm is gonna come around and press in on that leg. And when you do that, when you press in with the arm, it lets you twist a little bit more, as well as give you a little bit of stretch here through the hip. And you can extend or deepen the twist by extending the arm. So you're really pressing through both feet for balance here. And then as you exhale, release that arm, come back to center, and release that foot down. Okay, let's come right over your chair, that all fours position, and just a few cat and cows here. Inhaling as you open up into the cow, and exhale, round out the back, release for the cat. Let that tailbone drop down. Just one more. Now while we're right here, and with your chair being where it is, you are welcome to try that figure 4 hold like we do when we're seated. So if it doesn't resonate with you, you can have a seat and we'll go right back into that hip stretch. But if you'd like to try it, because we've got our chair for balance, you can bring one foot up right onto your knee. Okay, have a little bend in the knee that the ankle is resting on, so it'll kind of hinge it and hold it there. And then you can just lean forward and get a little bit deeper stretch than what we do when we're seated in the chair. And so just another breath. And then very gently push up with your arms and release that leg. And then come right in on your other side. Have a little bend to that knee. And then head your way in, forward fold. More breaths. Push up with those hands, release that leg, and forward fold. Really let your upper body get heavy. We're only going to be here a few breaths. And then bend your knees. Let your butt come down, your chest to lift, your head to lift. And then rise all the way up. Roll out those shoulders. come back to sitting in our seats. Take a moment, just circle those ankles, circle the wrists, and take them in both directions. And before we finish for today, I want to be sure to open up through the chest. So rolling the shoulders down the back. Go ahead and just interlace the fingers behind and pull the hands away. And let the chin lift. Just a few more breaths. And release the arms. Settle back into your seat. Just closing the eyes once again. Deepening the breath. Letting all tension release itself from your body. The chair is holding all your weight. Notice how the body feels here, in this space, in this moment. The calm that comes after all the effort. That's a really nice reward. Deepen the breath even more. And now as you exhale, open your mouth and let all the breath, every ounce of it, escape the body. Squeezing the belly to the spine to release the breath. Fill back up. And release. Bringing your hands to your heart. Namaste.